Welcome to the Pokemon Uprising. I'm your leader, the Defiant One AKA Bisharp2Queen4. Today I am bringing you this week's top 5. This week's top 5 was the electric type as chosen by the viewers, which I'm very excited about because electric type is actually in one of my top 3 favorite typings. So when you think about electric type Pokemon, you usually think fast, you think electricity, you think lightning, you think anything of the sort, and in this case, in Pokemon's case, you think yellow, because most of the Pokemon are either a yellow or orange color. But anyway, we should just jump right into the list. I just love electric type Pokemon so much. So, starting off the list, we actually have Ampharos at number 5. Ampharos would not have been on this list under normal circumstances, but ever since Gen 6, it has gotten a Mega, which really boosted my liking of this Pokemon. I thought the Pokemon design was kind of cool as it was already, but like, just look at that hair. It's just like a Super Saiyan Ampharos, man. It's just so awesome. And not to mention its fabulous pink form as well, and when it's shiny. But anyway, just to get a little bit of battle strategy in with Ampharos, usually I run mine extremely bulky. I run it with whatever I feel like, whether it be max defense or max special defense, or even max special attack. I can run a bulky special attack or max HP and max special attack. I almost never run my Ampharos with speed investment. The reason for that is, Ampharos' regular speed is 55, and Mega Ampharos is even slower again. Its Mega speed is actually 45, which is quite slow. It is, like, in a Trick Room, this thing would be a nightmare to fight. But, like, usually the set that I've been running as of late, I do run a max special defensive investment set with the Cotton Guard, because Cotton Guard gives you a +3 to your defense. This way, this thing walls everything, and you can use moves such as, like, you can use Charge Beam for boosting your special attack, so you don't need the special attack investment. You can use Dragon Pulse just for the sake of powerful stab move. And in that fourth slot, you can use whatever the hell you want. Basically, I love Ampharos. It is very limited in terms of what it can do. It is a complete offensive powerhouse, especially in Mega form, with base 165 attack. This thing has pretty rounded out stats overall, especially in its Mega form. Except for speed, like I said, this thing is a slow Pokemon. This thing is a tank. It'll come in, it'll take hits, and it will dish out twice as much damage as what it's taking. And I mean, like, I love the Pokemon mostly because I'm a huge lover of 2nd Gen. And I will always be a huge lover of 2nd Gen, but, like, that's as far as it goes for me. I mean, other than that, Ampharos really just, it's a powerhouse, but the reason that it's at number 5 is because of its Mega. It wouldn't even be on this list in terms of design or any overall likability for me if it wasn't for its Mega evolution. So, that's pretty much all I have to say about Ampharos. So, on to number 4. Number 4, before Old School Sin bashes me in the comments section, number 4 is Luxray. Luxray is an NU Pokemon. It is really powerful. It has an excellent design. I really love it. It was the original Lion Pokemon. And Pyro came into the picture a bit later, but I mean, I absolutely love its entire evolutionary line, being Shinx, Luxio, and Luxray. And it is a real offensive powerhouse as well. You have the option of running a special attacking one, but most people run the physical attacking variant, mostly because its physical attack is actually base 25 points higher. And not only, and on top of that, like, its move pool is so ingrained into the physical side of Pokemon. Like, it has special attacking moves, but it's very limited in terms of what it can actually do. Other than that, like, its defenses are kind of frail, its speed isn't even all there, it's only got a base 70 speed, so it can't really benefit from that without using a Choice Scarf. So, like, basically it comes in as a physical powerhouse, comes in to sweep. If your opponent is packing all these specially defensive Pokemon and has really, like, is really frail on the physical side, Luxray can come in and just start bodying Pokemon, like, with relative ease. The reason that it comes in at number 4 is because it is so, like, it's not diverse. Everybody knows what Luxray is going to do. It's very rare when Luxray throws something really different at you. And that was the biggest reason for me. Like, in terms of basing it on design, it's actually one of my favorite. It'll probably be in my top 2. But, like, I mean, I can only base it on so much. Like, in terms of its competitive use, it really brings it down to me. And it kind of makes it a little bit of a dead weight on my team a lot of the time when I do use it. Being situational as it is, Luxray will be falling to number 4 on this list. But don't get me wrong, Old School Sin, I do love Luxray. So on to number 3. Number 3 is a Pokemon that has been released in Gen 5. I really love its design. It, along with Volcarona, are 2 of the coolest bug types to date, in my own personal opinion. Scizor will probably be number 3. But number 2 is Galvantula. Galvantula is just so cool. It is a complete glass cannon. It is a suicide lead in every sense. You get access to Sticky Web to cripple your opponent's speed. And on top of that, you also get Compound Eyes, because, I mean, with a base 97 special attack, isn't even bad. and if you get a 91% stab Thunder, I think you would be pretty happy as well. But I mean, on top of that, you also get Bug Buzz, you get Discharge, you get a couple other moves, but it's very limited as well as to what it can do. But like, just because it's an electric bug type Pokemon, it is extremely unique. It's the only one of its kind other than its own line. This is why it gets in the number 3 spot. However, like I said, it's a Suicide Lead. It doesn't really serve much more purpose than that. So like, that's why there are 2 Pokemon that are actually above it on this list. Both of these Pokemon aren't exactly the greatest Pokemon. One of them is actually pretty good, but like, I mean, Galvantula only falls to number 3 on this list because of its lack of different moves. The Pokemon that falls in the 2nd spot is none other than Electivire, or my common nickname for Electivire would be Thor. I mean, this guy is a complete powerhouse. Just look at him. He's like a hulking mass of electricity. He's a hulking mass of lightning. He is the epitome of Thor. He's just Pokemon's version. And he's not exactly very diverse. Most of the Pokemon that I've mentioned previously in this list aren't exactly that diverse. But the reason why I put him in the 2nd spot is 1, because his design looks excellent. 2, because he has so much physical attacking power, but he also has the bulk to back it up. Unlike Luxray, he doesn't have a whole lot of bulk, but his bulkiness is actually slightly better. You can actually run a more defensive one. You also have the option of running a special attacking variant, and it's also faster than Luxray. In a lot of sense, it does most of the things Luxray does, but it does it better. And that's a big thing. It also has access to Motor Drive, which, if he gets hit by an electric type move, it boosts his speed yet again, so he's going to be outspeeding most threats that aren't Scarfed or without priority. But there are no priority ground type moves. Ground is the only type that electric Pokemon are weak to. So, like, I mean, it works out perfectly for him if he can outspeed anything that's going to try an Earthquake. So, unfortunately, he kind of has a bit of a lower HP and lower defensive stat. But I mean, with base 123 attack and 95 speed, most of the time you're going to be hitting harder and hitting faster than anything that's going to be trying to hit you. Like I said, with that defense, 1 Earthquake is going to do it in, even if the opponent doesn't have the most physically attacking Pokemon. In terms of Electivire, a combination of his design, his competitive use, and, well, he is an NU Pokemon, so like, he's very limited as well. But like, I just find that he's really likable, and considering that Elekid and Electabuzz are very likable and very well reviewed, to me Electivire is also. I find that Electivire took a great Pokemon in Electabuzz in terms of design, and made it look so much better and so much more menacing, and I really appreciate the Pokemon did that. And those are the reasons why it falls to number 2. Unfortunately, number 1 is a little bit more useful, I guess you could say, on a team, and it also looks nicer, and it also holds a dear place in my heart. On to number 1. Jolteon is Generation 1. He is the electric type in and of itself. Between Jolteon and Raichu, like, that's the first 2 Pokemon. Whenever somebody asked about electric type Pokemon, that was the first 2 Pokemon that came to mind. Like, way back in the day, when I was a little wee boy, that I just played Pokemon Blue. My first LP that I ever did of Pokemon Blue, I actually never played through the game with an electric type the first time I ever played the game. But then the second run around, instead of taking Vaporeon, I took Jolteon. Jolteon was so powerful. Like, I mean, Vaporeon was great. Vaporeon was really bulky, filled out my team very nicely, but I already had Blastoise, so I didn't really have much of a use for Vaporeon, to be completely honest. But then came along Jolteon. Jolteon just completely destroyed everything that was in its way, and to this day, it can still be a real threat. It is an RU right now, but I mean, like, it's fast, it has a base 130 speed, it has base 95 special defense, which isn't bad, and it has a base 110 attack, which is way above average. But its biggest problem lies on the physical side, because I mean, it only has 65 base attack and 60 defense. And so it's going to get completely walled by Pokemon such as Chansey. And it only has base 65 HP as well, so it's not going to be living very many hits. Most people run a Choice Specs, Life Orb, or Focus Sash set, mostly because they're trying to get off as much damage as possible by relying on Volt Switch to get the switch priority and things like that. And in recent games, it's also gotten access to Shadow Ball, which really, like, before people started catching on, it really surprised a lot of heavy Ghost type users, such as like Aegislash and Gengar. Like, before the weakness policy, Aegislash became a thing. Shadow Ball Jolteon actually did quite a number on Aegislash. Following that, Jolteon has always held a dear place in my heart. Like I said, second time I ever played through Pokemon Blue, I took Jolteon. Jolteon was so powerful, I had a great love for it. And if you look at its design, it's simple but very elegant. Like the way that its fur ruffles kind of reminds you of electricity passing through an object. It's very jagged, it's very rough, and Jolteon in my mind is just like watching a bolt of lightning move. That's how I picture it, because it just seems like it's just so fast. And when you think of electric type Pokemon, you think fast. And most of the Pokemon on this list haven't been all that fast, to be completely honest with you. But like that's pretty much the biggest reasons why. I mean, you can also get Volt Absorb, which completely makes any other electric type moves completely useless, and it also heals Jolteon. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, you can actually abuse the Switch-In, much like you can abuse Switch-Ins with Flash Fire and other type of abilities such as those. But like Jolteon is just a great Pokemon overall. Design is nice, competitive use is nice. It can be used in pretty much any tier, even though it's very limited in terms of what it can do. But it just does the job so much better than some of the other Pokemon mentioned on the list. And that would be my top 5 electric type Pokemon. So don't forget down in the comment section below to give me your own top 5 or your own favorites, it doesn't matter. All I have to say is if you are a new viewer and you would like to enlist in Rebellion, all you need to do is sucker punch that subscribe button and heck sucker punch that like button. Every little bit helps, and I'll be back with bigger and better Pokemon videos. So until next time, you guys, and don't forget to vote for next week's top 5 in the comment section down below.